Hey, friends, thanks for joining. Let's just ease into it today and begin on our backs. So lie down, get comfortable. Not too comfortable, though. And once you lie down, notice if it feels better to have your knees bent and pointing up, knees out to the sides, knees straight, whatever supine position that feels most comfortable for you today at this time. And just like in Shavasana, just really allow the floor to take your body weight. Allow your upper and lower rows of teeth to separate and feel your tongue widen inside your mouth. Soften the little muscles around your eyes. And let's begin to practice pratyahara, which of course means that you're drawing your awareness, your senses inward the way a turtle draws its limbs into its shell. So you really notice how it feels to be in your body today at this time. And then if you haven't already, also begin to notice your breath and start to feel your body breathe. All right. Now use your hands to draw your knees into your chest and just make some circles with them. So you massage your lower back on the floor of it. Make some small circles, make some big circles, go both directions. Okay, let's just do some easy supine windshield wipers next. So keep your knees bent and bring your feet to the floor. Now, let's do a few different foot positions. So begin with your feet together. Knees bent, soles of your feet on the floor, and feet together. Arms out like a T if you have room for it. And then the next time you exhale, drop your knees to your left. Turn your chin to your right and turn your right palm down. And then as you inhale, bring your knees up again. Look up and turn both palms up. This exhale, drop your knees to your right. Turn your chin to your left and turn your left palm down. Then inhale back to the center. Now, from here, separate your feet a few inches. And repeat as you exhale, knees to your left, turn your chin to your right, and turn your right palm down. Inhale back to the center and exhale to the other side. Inhale when you return to the starting position. And again, separate your feet a little bit. Let's go through that sequence a few more times. Every repetition, or I should say, once you've gone to both sides, then just separate your feet a little further apart. So eventually your feet will end up the width of the mat. Remember, when your knees go to one side, turn your chin to the other side, and whatever hand you can see, turn that palm down so you get some rotation in on your hips, spine, and shoulders all at the same time. All right, now, once your feet are the width of the mat and you've gone to both sides, bring your feet back to whatever width felt most interesting to you. However wide you want your feet now. Let's go back to that first side. So knees to your left, turn your chin to your right, and then assuming it doesn't hurt any joint, bring your left ankle on your right thigh so your right thigh and hip have a deep internal rotation. And as I implied a moment ago, if it hurts a joint, of course, you could skip this part. All right, then let's change sides. Welcome, Vanaja and Doreen. Glad you made it. Okay, good. Then when you're ready, here's unwind, pull your knees back into your chest. And let's do a little bridging next. Let's do the same thing that we did with our feet in the windshield wiper. So feet on the floor, but have your feet together, arms down by your sides. And in fact, I've been doing this lately. It's good to change up a little bit. I like them both, but we're gonna focus today. We're gonna exhale when we push our hips up, and we're just gonna keep our arms down by the side. So it's a simple bridge. Arms stay down by your sides. When you exhale, press your feet down, press your hips up, and engage your glutes into a bridge. And then when you inhale, slowly lower back down. And now once your hips are down, separate your feet a few inches, and repeat. Exhale, push your hips up, engage your glutes. Inhale, hips down. Keep going. So every time you come down, you open your feet a little bit wider until eventually your feet are as wide as the mat. Once your feet are as wide as your mat, then again, bring your feet back to whatever width felt most interesting to you. Then keep your hips up. And instead of interlacing your fingers, just keep pressing your palms down to the floor. Of course, press your feet down as well. Even press your big toes down. And see if you can open the fronts of your hips just a little bit more by tightening your glutes. All right, then lower your hips. Now, this time, bring your knees back in toward your chest, but don't use your hands. So keep your hands down on the floor. Knees in and make those circles again. So, like earlier, you massage your lower back on the floor, but get a little more core engagement happening to fuel that movement. Like earlier, make some small circles, make some big circles, go both directions. Okay, good. Let's just begin to rock a little back and forth. Now, if you have any lower back issues and it hurts your low back to do this rocking, of course, skip and just roll off to the side. But if it feels okay, you rock a little front and back to massage the muscles along your spine. And then let's come up to seated and just stretch one leg forward, bend your other knee, and use your hands to massage that foot so to wake up all its little joints. Great. Then wake up your other foot. All right, let's go through some kneeling splits next. So let's come up to all fours. Inhale here and extend your spine so your sternum moves away from your navel. Then exhale back to dog pose. Now inhale back to all fours. Lift your chest and look forward. Let's exhale, sit back into child's pose. Now inhale, sweep your arms up, open the fronts of your hips again, a little bit like you did in bridge. Then exhale back to child's pose, and we'll begin that sequence again. Inhale to all fours, extend your spine. Exhale to down dog. Inhale back to your hands and knees, lift your chest, look forward. Exhale to child's pose, tighten the old bread basket. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to child's pose. I'll talk you through that sequence one more time. Inhale to all fours. Exhale to dog. Inhale to your hands and knees. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale, reach up. And exhale back to child's pose. Okay, so let's keep moving through that sequence on your own, at your own pace, using the movements of your body to help stretch the breath. Okay, now the next time you're in downward facing dog, let's stay there. It's our meet and down dog. And of course, once you're there, it might feel good to pedal your feet back and forth a bit and or shift your hips a little side to side. Now let's rock forward to plank. We haven't done this one in a while, but let's rock forward to plank and let's take a minute to do any planking variations you like. Now, of course, you could be on your forearms if it bothers your wrist. If you need, you can lower your knees. You can throw some side planks in there. You can throw some shoulder tapping planks in there. Whatever kind of plank variation for the next 60 seconds that you deem as appropriate for you and your body. And this is the halfway point, about halfway there. All right. Then let's lower all the way to the floor with control. Once you're down, just stretch your arms forward into the full prostration, Danda Samarpana. And once you're here, just focus on filling your torso with breath. So remember when we throw these into the sun salutes, I'm not, for right now anyway, for the next, I don't know, 15 minutes, we're not going to do this as a strengthening pose. So don't worry about lifting up. Think about this as a stretching and breathing pose. So take a full, smooth breath in here. And now let's come into Sphinx pose or Salamba Bhujangasana. See if you can create a little more length in your waist. Then once you have created some length, bend your knees and make some circles. Sphinx plus. Go the other direction. All right, now bring your feet back to the floor. Now slide your hands under your shoulders as well. Let's inhale the upward facing dog. It might feel good to turn your shoulders a bit here, side to side. All right, then back into downward facing dog. And now step your left foot forward into a lizard lunge. So bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand here and just make some movements with your hips. Check out this first lunge, see how it feels. Now inhale as you step back into plank. And then exhale as you lower to the floor with control. Now stretch your arms forward and take a full breath in. Exhale as you slide your hands under your shoulders and inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale back into downward facing dog so we can change that. So when you're ready here, step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand. Check out this side. All right, now step your left foot forward. Have your feet, let's say at least hip width or so. Point your toes forward toward the front of your mat. Bring your fingertips down as well. Come into a tiptoe squat. So as you come into a squat, let your heels lift off the floor so you're on your toes and have your arms between your knees. And once you sink your hips, look forward and try to extend your spine. So like earlier, you lengthen the area between your sternum and navel. Then as you exhale, press your heels down and your hips up at the same time. So you come into a forward fold. And then repeat. As you inhale, drop your hips, arms between your knees, lift your heels, look forward, extend your spine. And then exhale, press your heels down and your hips up. One more time together. Inhale here, and then exhale here. All right, this inhale, stand up and sweep your arms overhead. And then as you exhale, arms down. Okay, let's put a bunch of that together for some full salutes. We're going to incorporate that tiptoe squat and the full prostration in the sun salutes, okay? All right. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to that squat. And as you exhale, either step or hop back and lower all the way to the floor with control. And once you're down, stretch your arms forward, take a full breath in. Exhale as you slide your hands under your shoulders. Inhale to up dog. And then exhale back into down dog. Now let's take a breath in down dog. And as you exhale, bend your knees, look forward like you're a frog getting ready to leap. Once you are ready here, either step or hop to the front of your mat. And then inhale back to that squat. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. And then exhale as you bring your arms down. Take a breath. And I'm going to talk you through one more of those. Inhale as you reach up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to the squat. Then exhale as you step or hop back and lower to the floor. Once you're down, stretch your arms forward, take a full breath in. Then hands under your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Take a breath in down dog and then bend your knees, look forward between your hands, either step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale to the squat on your toes. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, stand up, arms overhead. Keep inhaling until your palms touch. And then exhale as you bring your arms down. Okay, let's try two more of those on your own, at your own pace. Now, this time, once you're in downward facing dog, let's stay there. Let's all meet in this next down dog. Then, once you're in this down dog and you feel kind of settled in, then just practice being still. We've done a lot of movement so far. Now, just take a moment to practice being still. Maybe slow down the momentum of your breath a little bit more here as well. And as you keep your body still with that intention of slowing down your breath, notice how your mind reacts. And now at the very end of this exhale, do a brief pause of your breath as you suck your navel back toward your spine so you hollow out your abdomen. After a second or two, relax your abdomen. Inhale and repeat. Exhale all the breath out. Then all three bandhas. Let's try that one more time. All right. Let's go back to that first side, the lunge on the first side. That is, so step your left foot forward, but this time, step your left foot forward right between your hands. So it's like your left foot's like in the middle of the mat, and then bring your right knee down. Now, at this point, you'll probably need to walk your hands forward a little bit, but then just do like a single leg windshield wiper. So roll to the outer edge of your left foot so your left knee goes way out to the side, and then bring your left knee back up and sole of your left foot on the floor. Just like your left leg is the windshield wiper by itself. All right, good. Then let's just step back into down dog here. Then from down dog, this time inhale right into upward facing dog with your toes still curled under. Then this exhale, bend your elbows and lower almost to the floor. And inhale back into up dog. Exhale to down dog, and let's change sides. So step your right foot forward between your hands. Bring your left knee down. Readjust your hands a little bit then so your hands are kind of further forward than your foot is. And like the first side, do that kind of single leg windshield wiper on this side. Okay, back to down dog. Then inhale right into up dog. Exhale as you lower almost to the floor. Back to up dog and back to down dog. Okay, good. Hmm. Now let's come down to all fours again and just have a seat. So let's do another frog variation. There's lots of frog variations. So this frog variation, have your big toes touching, have your knees kind of wide, like almost as wide as your mat, and then see if you can sit back towards your heels. Now I know some of us have a problem sitting back all this far and flexing the knee all the way. If you do, that's fine. You can do this next one from here too. What we're gonna do though, if you're one benefit having your hips on your heels is it's gonna fix your hips more. It's gonna keep them still because we're gonna do a little twisting, and this will help to get more rotation in the spine. So if you're here then just do your best to avoid shifting your hips side to side. Try to keep your hips really stable as we do this next one. So assuming you're in this position, this frog variation, slide your hands back so they're just in front of your knees. So we're gonna begin from this position if you can. Now from here, bring your left hand to the back of your head. Turn your shoulders and point your left elbow up like your left arm is a clamshell and you're opening the clamshell. And as you exhale, bring your left elbow towards your right elbow so you're closing the clamshell. Inhale here, open the clamshell. Exhale when you close the clamshell. Let's try that a few more times. This will be good for mobilizing the thoracic spine, the middle of your spine, which also helps with shoulder mobility. They're tied together pretty closely. Okay, now your choice, whichever one, kind of like earlier, feels more interesting to you. Either keep the clamshell closed or keep the clamshell open. Either one. And take some full, smooth breaths there, wherever you are. Okay, great. Let's change sides. Now keep your left hand down. Bring your right hand to the back of your head. Open the clamshell and then close the clamshell. And once it feels like you've gone to both sides an equal number of times, again, stay in whichever position that feels more interesting to you. Okay, good. Then relax. Now let's slide forward back into crocodile pose. So now just rest your forehead on your hands. And like we did in those full prostrations earlier, really focus on filling your torso with breath. Okay, time for another frog variation. Like I said, there's a bunch of frog variations. So for this one, just slide your left knee out to the side. So your left knee's at a 90-degree angle and your left toes point out. Yep. And then once you're set here, you can do this in like crocodile or sphinx. Either way is good. But now lift your left foot and ankle up and down, up and down. So you actively internally rotate that thigh. And then ask your left foot and ankle to hover off the floor. Good, bring it down. And now let's change sides. Right leg out to the side. So it's in that frog position. And then lift your right foot and ankle up and down, up and down. And then ask it to hover. Okay, good. Then slide your legs together. Okay, now let's do the side scorpion. Bring your left arm out to the side, palm down, roll to your left. Right foot someplace near your left hand, then split your legs. So slide your left foot away from your right foot. Good. Change sides. Okay, back to the center. Now, bring both arms out to the sides. Lift everything up. Lift your head, lift your arms, and lift your legs, and keep everything up. But when you exhale, bring your feet together and bring your palms together in front. As you inhale, open your arms, legs, maybe curl up a little higher. Exhale, feet together, palms together. Inhale, open and curl a little higher. Try that a few more times. Okay, then relax. When you're ready here, just push into child's pose. Once you're in child's pose, really focus on breathing into your back like you're directing the breath into the area behind your heart. And walk your hands over toward the left side of your mat. And then direct the breath into the right side of your rib cage as if you could breathe more into your right lung. I change sides. Walk your hands over toward the right side of your mat and breathe into your left, the left side of your rib cage and your left lung. Okay, back to the center. Now, let's do something upside down on our hands, forearms, or head. So I would suggest some kind of handstand, some kind of forearm stand, some kind of headstand, whichever you feel is more appropriate. You can always do some kind of dolphin if you don't want to go all the way upside down. Do some kind of dolphin pose like this. Feel free to use a wall. Now, most of us are pretty experienced in this class, I know, so I'm not going to give I'm not going to give any more pointers on any of those poses. As always, though, if you need more time, more explanation, especially with headstand and shoulder stand, check out our tutorial section. I've made tutorials, like 10-minute tutorials, 5-minute tutorials on both of those. So check that out at your leisure. Otherwise, let's do something upside down. Um, Not shoulder stand. We're going to do shoulder stand later, but let's something upside down on our hands or head for next 60 seconds or so. Yeah, and if you're still up, just begin to slowly come down with control. And then return to child's pose. Okay, let's come back to seated. Toward the front of your mat. We'll do a little more core work here. We're going to do the inchworm. So start in staff pose, also known as dandasana. Sit up really tall. Then just bring your palms together and lift your right hip up, shift it back. Lift your left hip up and shift it back. So you're slowly going to go side to side, shifting back one hip at a time. Keep your palms, keep your like your thumbs on your sternum so that you won't have the temptation to swing your arms for momentum. You'll really think about you'll need to require it'll require you to fuel the movement from deep in your core instead, inch by inch. Once you run out of room back there, then throw it forward, throw it and drive. Go forward one hip at a time. Thumbs still on your sternum. And now, once your heels are off the front of your mat, let's do that rocking again. So, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the rocking back and forth can bother your low back if you have kind of issues there. So, you can always just do any kind of boat variation. Otherwise, rock back and forth a little bit. Watch out for your pets back there. Do a little rocking. After a few times, if you want a little more core engagement, don't hold your legs anymore. If you still want to challenge yourself more, when you rock forward, don't let your feet touch the floor. Catch a little hang time in boat pose. Let's just do like 30 more seconds of any kind of boat pose now. All right, good. Now, bring your hands and your feet to the floor. Let's do some seated windshield wipers. Lean back on your hands so you don't compress your spine. In fact, when you lean back, you might be able to feel your spine decompress a little bit. Then let's return to those windshield wipers. When you inhale, bring your knees up. When you exhale, drop into a side. Now, if you want a little more core engagement, take your hands off the floor. If it hurts, though, keep your hands on the floor. You can throw a boat pose in there again. When you drop to one side, you can practice lifting your hips off the floor as well for some more hip and glute engagement. Let's spend 30 seconds, 30 more seconds on any kind of windshield wiper variation from the seated position now. Okay, great. Now, let's go to the right. So let's drop your knees to your right. Set up a good 90-90 position. So you've got 90-degree angles in both knees. And then do a little twist. So bring your hands to the floor outside your right thigh. Take a few breaths here. And unwind a little bit so you lean over this right shin and just make some movements with your upper body. Try with your hands on the floor, try with your hands off the floor. Either way is good. Just kind of check out what this side feels like. Okay, let's change sides. Now, drop your knees to your left. Set up a good 90-90 and then do a little twist. Okay, unwind a little bit and check out this side. So now lean over your left shin. Have your hands on the floor. Maybe try with your hands off the floor. Okay, good. Then bring the soles of your feet together into the butterfly and just sit up nice and tall for a few breaths. And then begin to lean forward over your feet. All right, now cross your ankles, commonly known as Sukhasana. Once you cross your ankles, hold your big toes with your first two fingers and then lean forward. Now change the cross of your ankles and repeat. Okay, good. Now go back to the first side. Okay, you know what time it is? Time for the stand-ups. We're gonna do a 1 minute stand-up free for all. Uh, f- Ideally from here, but really any seated position. Use your hands as little as possible. So you might need to use your hands on a table or a chair or your pet. But speaking of pets, be careful there's nothing around you, just in case you were to fall. You don't want to fall and hit yourself or hit a pet or small child or something. So be mindful of this one, of course, of where you are in space. From here, you'll want to lean forward and reach forward to counterbalance the weight of your hips, and then press your feet down and lift your hips up to stand, and then reverse it. Change sides. Use your hands if you need, like I mentioned. Just try using them a little bit less every time. You can go into the squat from here if you have short legs like me. You can even do a windshield wiper to one side, then lift up, and then stand up from there. That's a good one too. So 60 seconds from now, 1 minute, stand up free fall. Stand up somehow, and then sit back down softly. Mindful of everything around you, so no one gets hurt. Yeah, one more try. All right. Once you've mastered that one, end up on your back. Lie down. Just like we started. It might, like earlier, it might feel good to have your knees bent, pointing up, knees bent out to the sides, knees straight. Whatever supine position that feels good for you. And then when you're right here, the last few poses, we did quite a bit of external rotation. Let's do a little more internal. So, like we did earlier on when we started class, drop your knees to your left, turn your chin to your right. It feels good. Left ankle on your right thigh. So your right thigh and hip of a deep internal rotation. Change sides. Okay. Now, next we're going to do something form of shoulder stand, something like shoulder stands. You could always just lift your legs up or have your legs up the wall. You can use blocks under your hips, blankets under your elbows, whatever kind of shoulder stand type pose, some form of sarvangasana that feels appropriate for you and your neck, just for the next 60 seconds or so. Now, if plow feels okay for your neck, then go back toward plow. If it hurts your neck, of course, you could skip it. All right, then if you haven't already, just slowly return to your back and take a minute to do whatever it feels like you need to do to prepare for Shavasana. Now just get super comfortable. And then just like we began the practice, allow the floor to take your body weight. Allow your upper and lower rows of teeth to separate. Feel your tongue widen. Soften your eyes. Even release your breath. Don't worry about shaping or controlling. So you're not really practicing pranayama right now. But let's practice dharana here. So dharana is making your mind focus on one point. So as we're here, just focus all of your attention on your navel rising and falling on each breath. Observe, watch your navel ride on each breath. All right, now shift your awareness so you feel the breath rising and falling through both nostrils. Be really aware of the sensation that breath is creating when it's rising and falling through both nostrils. And also notice if the flow of your breath is stronger through your left or right side. So notice if your left or your right nostril is more open and more active. Once you've noticed which nostril does feel more active, draw your knees into your chest and roll to that side. So roll to the side of the dominant nostril. Then stay on that side using your bottom arm as a pillow to allow the nostril flow to balance out. All right, now begin to work your way back up to seated and back into any comfortable seated posture. Any comfortable seated posture will do. And once you're sitting nice and tall with the crown of your head directly over the base of your spine, close your eyes again and practice Jiva Mudra by bringing the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth and then slide it forward so the tip of your tongue touches the gum line where the roof of your mouth and your front teeth meet. Let's also practice Pranashuddhi. So without controlling your breath, the next time you inhale, just notice the breath moving up your right nostril. The next time you exhale, notice the breath moving down your left, and then reverse it. When you inhale, feel the breath ascend through your left nostril. As you exhale, feel the breath descend down your right. Then continue doing that at your own pace. But like I mentioned, you're not trying to control or shape your breath. You're simply observing the sensation the breath creates when it moves through one nostril, and you keep alternating sides. If your mind begins to wander, that's okay. But if you notice the wandering, bring it back to watching the flow of the breath rise and fall through one nostril at a time. All right. Then bring your palms together back to Anjali Mudra and take one last moment to enjoy the peace you've created through the practice. And start to rub your palms together, create a little heat in your hands. If you built some heat, rest your hands over your eyes, feel it moving in, recharging your senses. Take one last slow, smooth breath in here. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed class. Fantastic day. Hope to see you again soon.